Hi everybody, Tashi here from Pixie Mommies Reborns. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Yeah, I don't really want to be making this video, everyone, but aside from that, hello and welcome to my channel. To everyone stopping by just to visit, hello, you are welcome. And to everyone new, hello and welcome. So, I want to say a few things have come to my attention that should be addressed. We are a community here, although YouTubers in general here function on their own. Like if you're a channel creator, you're responsible for your own channel, your own content, yada, yada, yada. However, as doll collectors, which we call ourselves the Reborn Doll Community or the Doll Community, community implies that we are actually a group of, people that exist together for a reason, right? So first, as I'm going around on the bed, which is, I suppose, a little disorganized up here as I was actually going through making storage bins to take downstairs, yada, yada, yada. I'll get into that later. I wanted to share with you because I shared with you that I had some really, really exciting news. So we'll just start off with that so I don't forget. About the new baby coming. Dr. Stork says I am not going to make it till full term with this baby and not even close to like these preemies. And as I said in my last video, the baby coming is silicone. I'm very, very excited. And today I'm going to announce the gender of this baby coming very soon. And pink. Yes, it is a little girl. So I have a basket with just a few things getting ready for my tiny little micro preemie. And so I'm going to give a few little bit more information. Look, isn't this great for props and role play? These are actually to collect breast milk. Of course, it's just fabric softener in here, but these are the larger ones. This one here that you can put the disposable nipples right on, and this would be the colostrum, if I'm saying that properly, collector. So cute for props and photos and stuff. I have 2 of these filled, and I have ones already opened and sealed here. I have a little tiny pink bottle, which is still going to be huge for her. So you all can imagine her size, that like this tiny little bottle is going to be huge, huge, huge for her. These hats, I don't even know if her head is, I don't know that they'll fit, but anyway, they're in here. Kind of waiting until she comes home to, get a better idea of her size, so that I can do something, get some things for her. But I did get a Jolly Pop preemie pacifier in pink because I'm aware that although it looks really big, these will fit her mouth because of the way she's sculpted. And I also got a cuddle star with a preemie pacifier, and I read about this and it was really cute. This is filled with like a beanies, like a beanbag material, and it's a little star and it velcros and holds the passy, and it's meant to help preemies, like you can lay it to hold the passy so they suck, and for them to cuddle. So I thought that was something really cute that I knew she would be able to use. So I got that. I got a few receiving blankets, and this almost looks like a hospital blanket here with the stripes, but just a little different. And I'm thinking of using like a shallow, maybe like twice the size of this, plastic storage container, and put a like a little index card in it and make it look like a little like hospital scene for pictures and videos and stuff. So let me know if you all think that those ideas are cute. It's fun. I'm nesting a bit and it's fun, and I've done tons of window shopping into little micro preemie clothes and all that. So fun part of collecting, which is where we should be at, I feel. But of course, there's things that are talked about in this hobby amongst collectors, especially on YouTube, that involve buying, selling, artists, just kind of the way the wheels turn, the way things work, right? I mean, those are topics that people are interested in. And those are topics that are great that new collectors can learn from, which is how I learned as I went along. And of course, I didn't just take my information from one channel and one collector. I sat back and observed for quite some time. And when I made my channel, I came on and I just shared my dolls and my journey as I got my dolls, as I went along, as I went through sculpts, as I discovered new artists, as I had experiences with artists, with other collectors, with other YouTubers. All that is in there through my journey, which went in stages, which is still in a stage. I still, of course, don't know everything. There's so much in this hobby, which is part of what makes it fun. It's like life. You learn until the day you die. It's like any artist. They are continuing to improve with every month, with every year, with every doll. Even if they're a master artist, that's life. You evolve, you grow, you learn, right? So I would definitely want to point out that it can be detrimental to collectors here when enough misinformation or panic is spread amongst the community by brand new collectors who will come on YouTube and speak as if they've been here forever and as if they're speaking facts and, putting out information about how customs work, how artists should work, how other collectors should and shouldn't be collecting and doing and using and da. That is, that's dangerous for, because then you have someone that's, say a month behind them just coming in that looks and says, oh wow, this person looks put together, they really look like they know what they're talking about. And meanwhile, this person, instead of coming on like the majority of channels do here, come on and say, hey, I'm new. I might have been hanging around as a viewer for a while, but I'm really stepping it up. I'm now getting into high-end dolls, I made my channel. And you share your journey as you go along, and that actually is beneficial to each of us as well, because we are now sharing our vlog, our journey as we go along. And that's what I want to see. That's what we all talk about. What do we look for in channels? What do we want to see? What, our favorite channels, what's the content? A lot of channel creators will put out there and ask for suggestions. What do you all want to see? And people can say, oh, I'd like to see a changing video, or I'd like to see an outing video, or I'd like to see this baby or that baby, or I'd like you to talk about this subject or that subject. But it's hard to convey when leaving a comment that what people really want is the person's journey and to experience all the new things as that collector goes along, and watching them share what they love, watching them move through what kind of collector do they become. Are they the kind of collector that, only only buys a few babies, and those babies become very, very sentimental to them, and they do everything with them, and you have so much fun watching their love grow, and them buying clothes and this and that, and the babies stay? Do they evolve into a collector, like now I would give me as a for instance, that really just, first off, I want to start, painting. I couldn't in the fall when I wanted to because of my back surgery, and now I'm faced with more. I don't want to get into that, but from the very beginning, the first videos that I watched were tutorials and things like that. I had an interest in the art, and so part of it for me is just really, really enjoying seeing many different artists work and sculptors sculpts, and then the babies that I kind of just go goo goo gaga and wiggle into my heart. For instance, Osir here, he's exempt from the collection. He stays forever. There's Oscar is downstairs, and Keiki is downstairs, Lennon's downstairs. Stellan's on his way back from getting rooted. So I'll have another video for you this week. He's expected Thursday. I am so excited. And then very shortly after that, the new baby should be arriving. Asphoria's downstairs. So this is in all my collection up here, but as I'm kind of in the midst of moving out of this room that I've been going slower than a snail, but look, that's besides the point again. So you have collectors that, are very active in rotating their collection because they want to see, they want to experience, and etc. You have, in between and all over the place. And you even have some collectors and YouTubers that don't have like True Reborn dolls. They might have Ash and Drake or Paradise Galleries, or there's another nice one. They're bigger dolls. I forget the name. And then those little dolls, which I forget the name of those too. I'm always so bad at when I gotta come up with something quick. I'll remember it. Down to some have store-bought baby dolls, or store-bought baby dolls that they reborn themselves and paint over themselves, and you watch them, create their journey and do what they can afford to do or what they're comfortable spending, however the case may be. It's all enjoyable. I will say, nobody should be knocking anybody here for the way that they collect, talking about getting into people's finances and making assumptions of, their living conditions, what they're spending on. Woof. Where are the manners and the common sense is just so, that is outrageous to do it to people. Why? Gosh, like every time you think you've seen the lowest of what could go on here, you find something else. And gosh, look, I took some ribbing over the breastfeeding video, and I think you all know and realize that I'm not, over here role playing with dolls all day like that. I can barely get a video in, and when I role play, and it's fine for women if that's what they do, and kind of that was my point, that there's going to be people that are find comfort in that, etc., etc. There's going to be people like me that just loved the artistic value and the realism of the photos and the videos and everything in between. And, to say that that's all, okay. And I took some ribbing, and, some people, brought up concerns like, well, how does that make the community look? And people outside already think it's a nutty hobby and da 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 da. And my point was, and I will bring that point up again, is it's the behavior in the way that we speak about one another, about other collectors, about other artists, about other YouTubers here. That's what people see, and they're like, oh my gosh, these people are a train wreck. These people, look at the way that they treat each other amongst themselves. That does more damage than anybody else's role play, because either they're going to think you're nuts because you're pushing around a baby in a stroller, because you're buying clothes, because you're making a nursery, because you're pretending to feed it a bottle. It doesn't, really, it kind of like, hello here, which was my point. And I don't even think I ever really came back and talked about it, because I just didn't want to beat a horse. Everybody took off with it. And it's funny because from time to time, in fact, today, I came across a collector that said, oh, I had just watched some of your videos, and, she said, legit, I was grossed out by that whole breastfeeding thing until I went and watched your video, and I heard your point and, saw what you were doing. And she said, it's pretty, I don't know if she said it's pretty cool or I'm okay with it or however they put it. They were like, it's not such a big thing. Well, the reason why is because people get things planted in their heads without going over and seeing a person and getting to know a person personally. They're just listening to all the hype, to everything everyone else is saying. And I say this in a ton of my videos. I won't judge people. I won't not be your friend just because you're associated with this person, that channel, that whatever, or because somebody else says, I don't like that person, I have beef with that person, whatever. I personally want to have a personal experience with a person before I pass that kind of judgment, whether it be to message and have a conversation through comments, or simply go watch that person and listen to them and see a little bit of them. And I want to learn about other collectors here and other people here by firsthand experience, not by rumors and especially hate being spread. There's people here that they get on it and they get obsessed with a channel or a few channels. They stalk those channels, and you can watch clear as day that every video they're talking about those channels and those collectors. Nothing those collectors is going to do right. Once people have, it in their head that they don't like you for whatever reason, whatever run-in you might have had with them, whatever it is, anything you say and do is going to be wrong. So anybody watching that is going to hear you're all wrong. So, I definitely urge you all to go and listen to people and channels, especially those of you that are new, that are just coming into the hobby, that want to learn about the dolls, about the art. I've gotten, I get comments, and I've gotten, multiple comments of people feeling, talking about feeling offended, like they feel like, oh, well, only certain popular YouTubers get the opportunity to buy this doll, or because it's a friend's doll or whatever. And, we see dolls go and, but, it wasn't up for sale for everyone to have the chance, and comments to that nature. But then you go and you watch and you see new collectors coming in that right out of their own mouths, they're talking about these dolls as if they're factory products, as if you can just order a custom doll from an artist that clearly most of them have a no refund policy, and you can get that baby, and if you just simply don't like it, don't bond with it, doesn't match with your couch, whatever the case may be, you have a right as a consumer to overturn their no refund policy, and you can fraudulently do a chargeback. Go in and tell them, pick every little thing apart and say it's damaged, because these are handmade works of art. They're not all the same. They all have different bodies, all have different types of hair, different skin tones, etc., etc. They're one-of-a-kind pieces of art. So there's nothing factory to compare it to say this is wrong or that's wrong. There is no wrong way. So how unfair is it? And what artists on God's green earth would want to deal with someone like that? Artists that do this as a business, that this puts food on their table. Think about this, that they've now been commissioned for a custom, or they've sold a doll that's ready-made. They've sold a doll. The collector gets the doll, and like this happens to many of us, you get a doll and in person you're like, oh, I just don't love the artist's painting. I don't like the way the hair feels. I don't like the sculpt. I don't like the way it feels in my arms. I'm just not bonding with the baby. Well, then that's your responsibility as a private collector to sell that baby on. Who in their right mind is going to go back to the artist and say, I'm sorry, I don't like this doll, I'm returning it? That artist has probably used that money to start their next doll, to fund their next project. They had the doll sold, short of the doll coming in a crushed box with a crushed head or hair falling out, or serious damage, people. Serious damage. It is ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous, to tell new collectors, you are a consumer here and you look up consumers, and as a consumer you have a right to do this. I wonder why artists and private collectors are selective about who they sell to. Bing! Has a light bulb went off to anybody yet? I wonder. I can't imagine why they might say no to someone that they clearly see has a reputation for being difficult like that, because the next person in line has a full payment, is a reputable collector, and if they don't like a doll, they're going to sell it on, and they know that. And they've made their money. Hello, people. Wake up. There is no secret underground, this person's better than that person. It is how you behave in your common sense in coming into the hobby, learning how collecting works. Yes, collectors buy, sell, and trade. That is part of the hobby of collecting anything. Yes, some people keep collectibles forever, for life, because it was from your great grandmas, or if it was off the boat from somewhere, or simply because you love it and you got attached to it. Absolutely, collectors do keep things forever, but collectors also go onto the market, buy, sell, and trade. They're not businesses. They are private people. They are private collectors buying, selling, and trading within their community, their group of other collectors. It's, so yeah, misinformation that you got a new collector coming in and saying, oh, but no, this isn't right, just because I say it isn't right. because I just stepped in for a hot 2 seconds, and instead of sitting back and enjoying the journey and embracing it, and yep, I've gotten dolls from some artists that have come in a small box wrapped in a blanket with, a shirt that they were photographed in and a pacifier. I've got dolls with nothing. I've got dolls with a lot. I can tell you for the most part that I don't take any videos down. My entire journey is here. That's what it's all about. I like the transparency, and I like to look back, learn from my mistakes, grow, and allow people and viewers that want to go back to the beginning and watch a marathon and watch my journey and how I grew, the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's all up. Part of that, if you go back and look, I've never got Spanish knits and high-end clothes from artists. I've gotten them from buying dolls from my friends, my close friends in this community, my friends that send me happy mail that I open up that same kind of stuff, embellished and made special box openings for me. So you'll see sometimes these huge box opening happening with all these high-end clothes. This isn't artists that put all that money into clothes, and this is a friend gifting another friend this clothing with a doll that they bought. What, should they send it in a separate box marked Happy Mail so that there's no mistake if the doll gets sold on that those were gifts to the mommy? The absurdity behind things that are coming out of people's mouths here is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And going around and talking about other collectors, other YouTubers, your fellow collectors and community members, and belittling them for their living circumstances, what they can and can't afford, telling them what they should and shouldn't do on their channels, with their dolls, with their finances. You get channels that are name dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and they're not talking nice about that. They're not shouting out and saying, go watch this channel, it's lovely. They're saying mean things. Like, who does that? And then you get new people coming in that fall upon that, and they think, well, that's normal, that's okay. And it's not. It's not okay. Please, I want to hear from everybody that has watched this video. Please comment below and let me know if you think that that's okay. If that's a channel that you want to support and be in, that you think is good for new very, newer than them, coming in just yesterday and thinking, well, that channel's, been here for a few months, so they know more than me, and they think that that's the way that it goes, and that's the way we should treat our fellow collectors, and that's the way that we should treat artists, that's the way that we should buy and look at ourselves as just consumers, that these are retail products, etc., etc. And these will be the same people that will complain and be jealous because other channels get the chance at dolls that maybe they never even saw up for sale, because they go quick. People get, not necessarily friendships, but they follow artists closely. They may pay attention to when something's going to be finished, and they go and snatch it up. And like I said, when an artist sees an inquiry, and I'm not speaking for artists, I'm just speaking common sense. Common sense. Let me say, if I was an artist and I looked at my emails, the last, 5 emails that came in, and I saw one person that's well known for pulling bullshit and trying to get money off once they have the dolls, or trying to return the dolls, complaining about everything, that they've done it to other people, and then the email below it is a collector that has either bought from me before, or I've seen buy from other artists. I see they buy and sell. They're easy, easy peasy, Who do you think, what email you think they're gonna open to sell the doll to? Like, that's just common sense. It's just using your noodle. So anyway, please comment in this video. And if you don't agree with me, I still welcome everyone's opinions. I'm not trying to shut anybody down. I'm not saying my opinion is the only opinion and the be all and end all. All I ask is that you comment respectfully. If you have something intelligent to say and you want to have a conversation, that it's not done rudely or antagonistically in any way to myself or to my other commenters, because otherwise I don't even respond to that. I block and remove, period. That's it. I don't play games. This is my platform, my forum. You're welcome to open your own YouTube channel. And if you want to be rude to people, be disrespectful to people on your own platform, you're free to do so. But it's not going to happen here on mine. You're welcome to disagree. I think everybody knows the difference between respectfully saying, my opinion's different, this is how I see it, as opposed to, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know what I mean. All right, and Stellan's coming back. We got a new baby coming. We're moving on to exciting things. I do have a scammer alert up on my community page. Please check that out and share it. I don't normally post things like that, and this was so outrageous and blatant to me that I punched my ticket on this one to post something like that. So I hope that you all do take it with some seriousness, some thought, and pass it on so that people are aware. All right, everyone. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you want to see more, please feel free and subscribe. Or if you come here because you don't like me and you keep having to type into my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Save yourself the time. And until next time, God bless.